So we all have relationships in our lives. Some more on the positive side, some more on the negative side. And this could be friends, family, relationships, coworkers, whoever it is. But sometimes we may pick up that we keep attracting the same types of people. Right? It's almost like a theme that we notice, patterns in our lives. Well, in this video, we're going to talk about that and how to stop attracting the wrong types of people or toxic people into your life. Sit tight. So toxic relationships, if you find that you're in one right now, or you're getting out of one, or trying to get out of one, or you keep noticing this pattern in your life, let's talk about that and why it keeps happening for you and how you get out of it, right? So if this is you, I'm going to use my little magnet here, this is you, and this person is a toxic person, right? It's almost like you are attracting them to you. Why? Why do you keep attracting the same types of people, seeing the same types of things happen, same type of dynamic in a relationship? Well, let's talk about energy for a second and vibration. Everything in the universe is energy, right? Atoms, molecules, we're all vibrating at certain frequencies. We can't see it, but we are vibrating at a certain frequency in our life. So we have a tendency to attract, people along lines of the same frequency as us, same vibration as us. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, think of if this is you, okay? And, you could think of like a seesaw or a teeter-totter, and you almost have a default mode to you, a default vibe, I guess you could call it, energy that you're putting out there, that you're sending out into the universe, the grand scheme of things. And, your default is sitting about here. So you're going to have people that are up here, and you're going to have people that are here, and then you're going to have that toxic person, perhaps, who's right along your level. Now, I don't want to say that you're toxic, but there are some things that from either our past, our childhood, emotions, stuff that sticks with us. So, a lot of it is how we think about ourselves, what we think we deserve in this world, who we think we deserve in this world. So a lot of times, we are resonating with certain people who, for some reason we think we deserve at a certain level, right? We don't think we can have the person who's up here, right? Or this person down here is just way out of our comfort zone, league, they're creepy. But we feel like we can only have this level, okay? And then we attract that to us. So everything in life is, we are a magnet. We are a living magnet, literally. So the thoughts and the energy and the emotions that we're sitting in, everything we put out there comes back to us. And we may not see it come back to us like right away, but we may notice patterns in our lives and say, okay, maybe I need to rethink this. Maybe I need to look at where I'm coming from. So pretend you're going throughout life and you have a flashlight in your hand. And everything that you flash your light on becomes part of your reality. You miss all the other things. Okay, but it's almost like a reverse form of freeze tag too. So, everything that you touch, that you put light on, okay, every person you put light on becomes part of your reality. Everybody else, not part of your reality, okay? They're like frozen in time. It's like a Twilight Zone episode, one of those black and white Twilight Zone episodes where everything is frozen and then it becomes alive once you put your awareness and your focus on it. So when we're talking from an energetic level, the first step is really being aware of what your default emotional state is right now, mental emotional state, your default energetic level. Like, where are you sitting right now from 1 to 100? You have to sometimes really look into that and what you're feeling, okay? So, any emotion or thought that we dwell on for long periods of time starts to eventually become part of our reality. This is why two people, you have optimists and pessimists, and they're living kind of the same experience, they're living in the same world, but they have two very different ways of living, perception, right? Same with people can live on a more topical, superficial level or have more depth to them. So this is like somebody who's always interested in just other people and pop culture and gossiping and things like that. And then you have other people who are always searching for the meaning of life and purpose and depth to life, right? Two very different experiences in life. So it's the same when it comes to people and the dynamic between people. What are you always saying to yourself? Are you always thinking about what you don't want, what you can't have, what you don't deserve, versus what you can have? Okay. And number two is to shift, course correct. Shift the focus on what you don't want, who you don't want, what you don't like about certain people, to what you do want in your life, what you do deserve in your life. And this can be an tangled process. And a lot of stuff like law of attraction, books and things, they make it sound very easy, but they don't go into how a lot of it is trauma or stuff from childhood, because we have a thought and it attaches to other thoughts from our past, and we get stuck in the thought and we get stuck in this pattern of thinking, almost like we keep reliving our past over and over and over again, but we have to break that somehow. So focusing on your wins, what you do want versus what you don't want, anything to bring the emotions to a lighter state. Okay? Because when you're always focusing on negative things in your life, it feels very heavy. And what it does, it brings the energy down, and you're going to attract people on a similar nature or thinking in a similar way. But also, when you are at this stage or in this default mode of feeling like you lack confidence or that you're not good enough or you don't deserve, maybe because you felt that way when you were a child, right? Then what happens is there's a mismatch in the dynamic between two people. So you may be attracting people who want to control you or dominate you because on a subconscious level, they can pick up on that. Have you ever had an off day? You had an off day, you felt off in your body, you felt uncomfortable, awkward around people, and you felt like other people could pick up on that. They could pick up on the holes in your aura. They could pick up on your vulnerability. They could pick up that you weren't feeling confident in yourself, even though you tried to present yourself as confident, but energetically or on a subconscious level, they could pick up on it. So the more you felt uncomfortable, they felt kind of uncomfortable and guarded, then you felt more uncomfortable, and then it was this dynamic, okay? So it's always dynamic between two people. But on the other hand, if somebody can see that you're vibing at a lower state or you're feeling lack of confidence, insecurity, that person can try to control that in a way for either their ego's benefit, or they have stuff that patterns that they keep repeating that they need to always be in control, and they're always getting in relationships where they can dominate the other person, and all kinds of things like that. So once we're in a certain energetic state, we're likely to keep the momentum going and attracting more and more and more of it. So that's why if we're always in like a negative frame of mind, or we're filling ourselves with, things around us that are toxic, whether it's, watching the news constantly or listening to certain types of music or being around, angry people all the time, it's going to just kind of build on that. And that's why it's harder to break out of the cycle many times. And the same thing can go with relationships. If we're always at this level, and this is just what we've always known, and it's our comfort zone in a sense, we're going to look for our drug in a way. So it's not necessarily that we want a specific person or we want our ex back, manifest our ex back, but we're looking for what that person is giving us. What is this person giving me that I'm not giving myself, for one? And a lot of times it's not the person you want, okay? It's the safety, it's the comfort, it's the feeling that you're needed in life, the feeling that you're loved, and maybe because you didn't feel loved in some aspect of your life. So you have to shine the flashlight inside yourself and really get to what that is, right? Not necessarily the person, but what is the person giving me that I'm not allowing for myself. You know, once you start course correcting and kind of shifting how you're thinking, then pay attention. Pay attention and celebrate the little wins. Pay attention, am I feeling more in tune now? Do I feel like I've upped a level, right? Do I feel more connected to things around me, to nature around me? Am I seeing more synchronicities? Am I seeing more positive things come into my life as I start focusing on the things that I do want, and make sure the things that you do want are what you want and not what others want for you, or what you pretend to want, or what you think you want because others want it. So this requires some self-reflection. A lot of times we don't like to dig deeper because it's work. For one, it can be uncomfortable, number two, and number three, we're just like distracted all the time. But if you really want to shift how your reality, what you're attracting into your reality, then you need to kind of dig a little deeper to get from, you know, this place to this place. Happy bubbles, right? We want to get to this place so we can just, you know. So at the end of the day, remember that flashlight in your hand and what you're flashing your light on in the world around you. And that's going to give you a good indicator of where you're at. And then decide that, okay, I'm going to start flashing my light over here instead of over here where I've always held it. Okay? And you'll notice that the light will start getting bigger and bigger, and you're going to magnetize it, and you know, more things will come into your reality as long as you're aware of them and you celebrate them. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.